Hi everybody, it's me Jill and welcome to Jill Informed. This is the recap of The Real Housewives of New York City, Season 10, Episode 8, A Frittered Friendship. Well, we are in the Berkshires and it is Christmas time. Dorinda's house is huge. I guess I kind of forgot. We get to see this picture of the outside of the house and it's on like 19 acres. And I was thinking, I don't remember it being that big. And then it occurred to me, I think I'm thinking of Heather's house. Do you remember Heather's house in the Berkshires without air conditioning? Ramona ordered an air conditioner to be brought to the house. I mean, what was she staying? 2 nights at the most? Probably only 1. But you know, at the risk of being a terrible house guest, Ramona needs her comfort. She's the worst and the best all rolled into one. So Ramona and Carol come the night before everybody else. And if you weren't sure that there was trouble between Bethany and Carol before, well, this is making it pretty clear. They're not even driving together. Carol is like cozying up to Ramona. What is that? They're laughing and giggling and like they're besties. You know, Ramona is loving every single second of it because Bethany is basically Ramona's arch nemesis. You know, if there was one person that doesn't kowtow to Ramona or calls her out on her crap or gives her a hard time, it's Bethany. And you remember last year. So yeah, I think Ramona is kind of really loving that she's kind of getting in there with Carol. I don't think Ramona really cares about Carol. Do you guys remember? It had to have been the beginning of last season when Ramona was showing pictures of Avery's graduation and commenting about how, you know, they looked like sisters. Bethany didn't really say much and Ramona said, "What? You're not even going to say I look nice? You don't say anything?" And Bethany's like, "Well, yeah, okay, you look nice." Well, Carol was sitting right next to Bethany and said, "Hey, wait a minute. I just said you looked great." Ramona's like, "Yeah, okay." Ramona couldn't have cared less what Carol thought, but she wanted Bethany's approval. And that was just last season. So the more I talk about it, the more I'm convinced that Ramona is cozying up to Carol for no other reason than she thinks it will irritate Bethany. We get to see all the beautiful Christmas decorations at Dorinda's house in the Berkshires. I can't do it justice, but I will try. I'm going to start showing you some pictures now. I'm just going to talk through it a little bit and just say that I remember telling you guys last year that I would love it if Dorinda would open up her house to the public. I would love to go. Even if it wasn't as a B&B, even if it was just as a museum tour, I would want to go and see it. It's just so lovely and adorable and Christmassy and I don't know, it just gives me all the feels. Oh my gosh. Okay, Sonia's in her townhouse and her facialist arrives and asks about Marley, who's like been colored with food coloring or something like that. And she said, "What did you do to Rouge?" And she goes, "Oh, this isn't Rouge, it's Marley." And the facialist said, "Oh, where's Rouge? He's not here." Here's what I like about that facialist, man. She is not shy. She's the one that was spreading gossip last year, I think, about everybody. Anyway, so she said, what do you mean he's not here? Where is he? "He's living with a lovely family in Maine." And she goes, "You gave him away?" And Sonia goes, "Well, yeah, is that bad?" Oh God, Sonia, you're the worst. Next, she's asking about Kitty, and she's like, "Is Kitty gone?" Sonia just nods, yeah. Because with her, you know, with her moving and moving out of the townhouse and somewhere else, she had to pare down. So she just kept one pet. Oh my God, how are you not attached to them? These animals were just like accessories to her. Although maybe not. She probably has more attachment to like a Prada bag than these animals. Okay, so now back in the Berkshires, Carol, Ramona, and Dorinda are at a restaurant. Carol brings up Bethany and she asks them both, have you guys seen her lately? Dorinda said, well, yeah, I was in Puerto Rico with her. And Carol said, have you noticed anything a little different about her? Do you guys think something's up? So Dorinda said something to her like, yeah, are you sensing there's a little tension between you two? And Carol said, yeah, she's just been acting a little strange toward me. And Dorinda said, well, I mean, she did mention something about Adam, that she had asked him to help out, to volunteer in Puerto Rico or Houston, or I'm not sure. I was a little bit confused there. And that he wanted to be paid, and so that kind of put her off a little. Carol's like, that's crazy because she never told me. I didn't know she called Adam. I didn't know a single thing about it. So she's mad at me because of something he did? And Dorinda tells Carol, I like that you have a voice now. I like this new Carol. She's painting with a different crayon and I like the color. Okay. And Ramona said the exact same thing at that book signing party, that she likes this new Carol who stands up for herself. And Carol said, I don't think I'm any different. You must be, because now it's two people that said that. She said, Bethany and I have fought before. And both Dorinda and Ramona said, well, I've never seen it. It is the next morning in the Berkshires, and Carol is in her room wrapping a Donald Trump chia pet for Dorinda, I guess, as a gag gift or like a hostess gift for her. Bethany arrives that morning and like right away she's a ball of energy and she's asking Dorinda, you have a connection at FAO Schwartz, right? Because Bryn saw this life-size nutcracker that she wanted, and when Bethany went to get it the next day, it was already gone. It was already sold. And she's like, they can't get any more. I mean, I've got to get, if I could get that, I mean, I'd be like Santa Claus. For sure, Bryn would think I was Santa Claus. If I could get her that nutcracker, blah, blah, blah. It's like, whoa, just like a hold up for 1 second. You just arrived at this woman's house. Now you're going to make her get on the phone and make calls and ask her friends for a favor so that you can get a giant nutcracker for your daughter. That is something friends would do for each other, but all I'm saying is just wait a hot second. Does that have to be the first thing you say when you walk in the door? And she's unpacking and she's showing her, I brought this because I just have to show you the new Skinny Girl jeans just came out. Oh my God, touch them, touch them, touch them. She is manic. Like, I mean, it's Bethany. She's always manic, but like she is even more manic than normal. Then Carol wanders into the room and she sits down, and truly, Bethany is acting like they are A-okay, nothing's wrong. Carol was talking about her character for the murder mystery party that night, and she said her nickname is Polly Politico because she's very political, I guess. And Bethany goes, oh, that's perfect for you. Oh, and here, I've got your Christmas gift. And she holds up this Christmas sweater, and it says, all I want for Christmas is a new president. She like throws it at Carol. I don't know, maybe it just seemed odd because we know there's tension, but it was weird the way she threw it at her, and Carol didn't have a big, giant reaction. So Bethany's like, well, I mean, do you like it or what? And she goes, oh, yeah, I do. I don't know. She was thinking of something else. I don't know. It was tense, okay? Because I think Carol was probably trying to find a private moment to talk to Bethany. But then Bethany took her off guard by acting so totally normal and having a present for her and everything. It was sort of like she shifted gears, change of plans, and she's like, okay, I'll just kind of go along with it then if she's being nice. Now we see Luann, Tinsley, and Sonia arriving. I'm sort of shocked they rode together, but Tinsley and Sonia did kind of make up at that book signing party. I guess maybe I just didn't believe it. Who knows? They arrived together, the three of them. Oh, God. Bethany has what is like legitimately a cute sweater. It's got 3 snowmen on it, and the saying is chillin' with my snowmies, which is cute. But Bethany feels the need to quiz every woman there. Do you know what it means? What does it mean? What does it mean? Nobody tell her. Nobody tell her. What does it mean? The only one who didn't get it was Ramona. It's not even that current of a phrase. Whatever. Okay, so the ladies are all sitting around having lunch, and before they begin, Dorinda has to lay down the house rules this year. It was really only 2 rules. Number 1 is Len works for me and not you. You guys all know how to get your own coffee. If you want a drink, get it yourself. If you need anything, she's like, there's more toilet paper down the hall, all this kind of stuff. To not be making Len do things for her, which the only person I can imagine made Len be their slave would be Ramona. And then the second rule was nobody touch stuff that isn't yours. It's just so funny to me that had to be a rule with these, wealthy, sophisticated women. Oh, don't touch each other's stuff. It's just so funny. Of course, that is relating to Sonia, who went into Dorinda's closet last year and took out a nightgown and started wearing it. Turns out it was something Dorinda was saving, all wrapped up in tissue paper in a bag that was a gift from her late husband, Richard. And Sonia was just prancing around in it in the morning. Oh, God. And the other part of that, I think, was related to Ramona, who, if you will recall, last year trashed her room like a freaking rock star. She's got Sonia and Luann sharing a room, and they went to their room, and Sonia immediately starts taking pictures of everything that was like broken, or like this like sculpture that was chipped. She's taking a picture of it. If there was like nick in the wall paint, or a little bit of wallpaper was ripped, she was taking a picture of every single thing that was wrong with that room when they got there, just so she wouldn't get blamed for it. Okay, now everybody is getting ready for the murder mystery party that night, and it's like a 1920s theme. They're all getting their costumes and makeup on. Dorinda's character is Tammy Temperance, and she's trying to get prohibition passed, yet at the same time, she drinks too much. Ramona's character is Lydia Birdsong. They call her Lady Bird. Carol is Sylvia Treadway. Her nickname is Polly Political. Tinsley is Nell Neighbors. She's the wealthy neighbor who lives next door. Sonia is Maria Antipasta, and she is the accountant of the owner of the manor, who is Freddie Feathersby, I think. Luann is Jean Menage. And Bethany is Melanie Wharton. Bethany's the only one that you could tell does not want to do this. Everybody else, surprisingly, is kind of getting into their characters. Bethany does not like it. There's 3 guys. It's the rich guy who supposedly owns the house they're in, Freddie Feathersby, and his assistant, I can't remember the assistant's name, and the butler, Rhett, the butler. Okay, Dorinda, Ramona, nobody can remember that his name is Rhett. And I know these women are old enough to know who Rhett Butler is. Gone with the Wind. I mean, he's Rhett the butler, and nobody gets that. All I can say is this. These 3 guys, these actors, are doing their very, very best to keep this murder mystery thing going. But with these women, it is not an easy job. Bethany's like, are those fritters? I need to try one. I never met a fritter I didn't like. So she's like, how do I do it with these gloves? And they're like, use a napkin. Okay, so one of the servers is feeding her a fritter, and she's like, oh my God, these are so good. And she will not shut up about the fritters. So now we have the assistant coming in the room and clutching his throat and keeling over and dying, falling dead right there on the living room floor. You hear Bethany in the background. Why are people not freaking out about these fritters? I mean, they're freaking delicious. Bethany, shut up about the fritters for 1 second. This guy is dead. I can't think of a worse bunch of people to try and do one of these murder mysteries with. Then somehow they all get wrangled into the dining room, and they're ordering drinks and stuff. So Luann mentions that, I can't drink tequila or I'll end up in the bushes. You know, like last year, which was so funny. You know how Bravo shows the flashback then of the scene? This was so cute. This time Bravo made it look like an old movie, you know, with like the scratches and pops in it. The tag said 1919. I thought that was cute. So now Freddie, the owner of the manor, he was talking about his assistant, and he was a good assistant. I'm sorry he's dead. But then he starts coughing. This poor guy, I'm telling you, he's got to cough for so long because nobody's paying attention to him. It takes that long for somebody to finally realize this guy's coughing and he's gonna die. He's coughing so hard, people are yelling, the Heimlich, do the Heimlich. Ramona gets up behind this guy who is not choking. He's acting. And she's got her arms around him and she's shoving, like forcefully shaking and shaking and shaking and shaking. And shaking this poor guy who's he's just like flopping and flopping. Oh my God. Now you're going to take the whole thing like seriously? Luann and Sonia have also jumped up. Luann's pushing on his chest. Now he's like slumped over in this chair. The butler is the only one left. And he comes out and he says, ladies, I'm not really the butler. I'm a detective. And he pulls out his badge and he said, and I'm here to help solve this murder. And I can assure you, ladies, even though you're still shaking his head like that, he is dead. Then the camera pans over and Sonia is behind him just moving his head like that. Oh my God, that was hilarious. So now it's the part where the detective says somebody in this room has committed this crime. And he says that the assistant did poison Freddy's drink, but not before somebody killed him, and we need to find out who killed the assistant. And so everybody in this room has a motive. And this is going to be the part where like everyone gives clues and you try and discover who did it. Not with this group. Dorinda. I did it. I killed him. Everyone looks at her like, what? Now, this actor who's playing the detective goes, well, and you know, what was your motive? And she said, I needed the prohibition bill to pass, and I didn't think this assistant was going to be on board with it. So I needed to get him out of the way. Well, that was right. But you just kind of ruined the whole game. To the confession cam, Dorinda's like, I couldn't let it go on too much longer. I was starving. I had to eat. Why didn't you eat fritters like Bethany said? They were apparently delicious. So that was that. That was the big murder mystery. Dorinda did it. She won a bottle of Dom Perignon for solving the mystery, and then the actors could leave. And not a moment too soon, I'm sure those three guys were like, we earned whatever it was that we made tonight. So now the ladies are just having dinner. And I don't know what made her do this or if something triggered her, but Dorinda's at the head of the table and she says, Bethany, Carol, do you two sense there's tension? What? Why now? I thought you just wanted to eat. Now we have to get into this whole thing. Both of them look up from their food like deer in headlights. Carol was going to talk to Bethany, but in private. So Carol finally said, yeah, I mean, I feel like our vibe is off a little bit. And Bethany goes, our vibe is off. There's been a shift. And Carol said, why has there been a shift? What is the reason for it? Because I don't know. I don't understand it. Bethany, if you have a problem with me, please just say it. And Bethany goes, I don't. And Carol's like, okay, well, that's not what I heard. You're either upset about Adam not wanting to volunteer, or you were mad at me and my level of financial support for your charity. And Bethany said, I don't need any support from you. You only asked about my charity once. And Carol goes, Bethany, that's not true. And you know it. Don't lie. Right now, round one, I am Team Carol. And I'll tell you why. Because Carol then says to her, I didn't even know you called Adam. And Bethany goes, I didn't call him. And she's like, well, you emailed him, whatever. Bethany goes, I didn't email Adam. Carol said, Bethany, come on. Well, whatever you did, you sent smoke signals. I mean, come on. So to the confession cam, Carol says, I don't like somebody who parses out people's words and like tries to trip them up. You know what kind of people do that? People who aren't telling the truth. This is why I'm Team Carol, at least for now, because that rings true to me. Bethany knew what Carol was trying to get at. If you texted him and you're saying, I didn't call him, I didn't email him, you know what I mean? The exact method of contacting him didn't matter. But for her to just keep denying when she said the method wrong, and you're nitpicking, even though you know what she's trying to say. I didn't know you reached out to him in whatever form. So it's either somebody who's trying to buy time or somebody who knows they're wrong about something. And Carol's words were just ringing more true to me at that time than Bethany's. Carol then said, well, I know you reached out to him in some way because he then told me. And by the way, Adam wanted to go. He couldn't, but he actually wanted to go. And Bethany goes, oh my God, Carol, you're freaking me out right now. And Carol goes, why? And I love that Carol stayed calm. By the way, neither of them lost control or got crazy. The second you let your emotions get the best of you and get really loud and crazy, you've lost the argument. But neither of them did that. Bethany was trying to make Carol react, and she didn't. And I love that. By saying, you're freaking me out right now, Carol just said, what? Does the truth freak you out? And in Ramona's confession cam, she said, boy, we've all gone toe-to-toe with Bethany, but usually Bethany's better with her words. We don't have the verbal skills that Carol has, but Carol's really doing good. That's all true, by the way, I'm sure. All I can say is this, to be continued. We don't even know what Bethany says in reply to that. I'm sure she's going to refute it, but yeah, it's not fun though. I like those two together. Carol did say, I love you, and Bethany said the same thing. Carol's not going to end up being best friends with Ramona. She was a good fit with Bethany. And Bethany with her. That's it for this episode. Thank you so much for watching. Please hit that subscribe bell down below so that you can be notified the next time I have a video out. Please give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. And don't forget to comment down below. I love to hear from you guys. I will see you next Wednesday at 1 p.m. Central Time for the next recap of The Real Housewives of New York City. Bye-bye.